Hello, my Mad Yogi tribe. This is Aileen bringing you our Dosha Vinyasa Yoga Series 1. So this is 1.1 and it's a very Vata balancing flow. It's one of my favorite flows. It hardly has any half flows in it. You know, the plank, cobra, or upward facing dog, then back through plank, up puppy pose, and downward facing dog. It hardly has any of that except for the first mini flow at the start, which is a Chandra Namaskar, our moon salutation 8.1. So let's get on with it. Coming up to the top of your mat, feet 1 hip width distance, and again, that's just approximately 2 fist widths. I'll just quickly show you to recap. 2 fist widths, toes pointing forward, rolling the shoulders, waving the spine, hugging and lifting as per usual. Yeah? From here, wave the spine. And for this flow, by the way, we're having a triangular breath. So let's do that first. Right hand on your heart, left hand on your belly, and breathe in for 3, 2, 1. Top of the breath, exhaling for 3, 2, 1, and just a brief pause for 1, 2, and inhale once again. 3, 2, 1, exhale. 3, 2, 1, brief pause for 1 and 2. We're not really holding the breath per se, but we're also lengthening out that pause. Okay, so if you can remember that triangular breath throughout the vinyasa, that's good. But if not, just default back into your circular breath. It's a very rounded way of breathing. Back to the top of our mat. Now let's do it. Backs of the hands together. Thread yourself up. Backs of the hands together, pressing in. Inhale, lengthening up here. Just a very, very small back bend. Pushing your hips forward, just getting in touch with the movement. Not really coming into a deep back bend per se. Squeeze the front line of the body, the abdominals, the psoas, even the quads, hopefully triggering the deep muscles of the body. Hands in, elbows press in, make an effort to press them in to lengthen out the side of the arm, the lateral deltoids. Knees bend, belly on the thighs, head bows, hands beside the feet. Let your head go, looking through the gap between your legs and as high up that gap as you can. Or if there's any congestion in the head, top of the mat. From here, right leg curls up, step it back in a lunge, taking it nice and slow, pushing through the length of both legs, activating that back leg, backs of the hands together, wave yourself up in a crescent lunge, lengthening up here, hugging and lifting the whole 3D of the body, not just the belly to the spine. Push your hips forward, tiny, tiny back bend, just getting in touch with our back bends, not necessarily going into it too much yet. Squeeze the front, lift up, hands in, elbows press in, bow down. In your forward fold with lunge legs, pushing through the length of your arms to lift the leg up, just a brief moment in plank, then bend your knees, press back, puppy pose, just staying here for a moment, rocking the body weight side to side, even if you want to, keeping the knees bent. And then let's have a spinal wave here, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down, barely pressing into the tops of your thighs. Stay in a puppy pose or lengthen your legs in downward facing dog if you want to. And a few more spinal waves. Belly up, chest up, head up, exhale down. Breathing here, just feeling the spine moving, feeling, because this is a Vata balancing flow, feeling the groundedness, the anchoring of your hands and your feet, your foundations. Inhale with the breath, heels up. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, upward facing cat. Exhale, untuck your toes and press back. Sit bones to the heels, awareness exercise. Leave your hands where they are and feel that length right along, especially the outside edge of your arms, outside edge of the body, into an extended child's pose. And again, shifting the body weight side to side, waving the spine even here. If you want to, just gaining a little bit more opening in your joints. And when you hear opening in the joints in yoga, that just means articulation. From here, walk your hands close to your knees. Wave yourself up. High kneeling pose. Belly in and up. Chest up. Head up. Roll the shoulders here even if you want to. From here, push your hips forward. Squeeze. Retract your scapula. Squeeze your triceps. Allow your arms to be drifted to the back via the activation of your upper back. Push your hips forward. Again, tiny back bend. Don't go aggressive with this. Looking down the line of your body or looking at the top horizon of your mat. Not very deep for this first round. Squeeze the front of the body to lift. Circle the arms up, hands in. Press the elbows in. Cradle the back of your head with your hands. Sit bones to your heels and again secure the head. Remembering our Chandra Namaskar, secure the head with your arms so that you can safely and confidently bring the elbows all the way down in a tightly rounded version of an extended child's pose. Breathing here. Extending your arms forward to their full length. Wave the thoracic up. Wave the head up so you can spot where you're going with your elbows drifting in. This is the most strengthening and challenging of our flow. Wave forward or slide forward and strongly push through your arms, pushing yourself up into an upward facing dog. Now, if upward facing dog is really not available to you, or you just really want to pare it back, taking it easy, when you wave through, and I'll just quickly show you, when you wave through, bring yourself down, engage your back muscles and come into a low cobra, or add the strength of your arms for a higher cobra. From here, lifting back up to our plank, push back, puppy pose, or downward facing dog, spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Right leg curls up into the body. Wave yourself forward, bent knee, three-legged plank, so you can step that foot through. Back heel points up in a lunge. Backs of the hands together, pushing strongly through the length of both legs in the form they're in, and wave yourself up into your high crescent lunge. Push your hips forward, tiny, tiny back bend first, just as we did before. Squeeze the front, lift up, hands in, elbows in, bow down. Forward fold, curling your left leg up and stepping up. Belly on your thighs, hands beside the feet, Chandrautanasana. Backs of the hands together, pushing through the length of your legs, waving yourself up. Urdhva upward facing hands. Pushing the hips forward, shallow or a little deeper with your back bend if you want to. Squeeze the front to lift. Hands in, elbows press in, knees bend, belly at the thighs, head bows, forward fold. Breathing here. Left leg curls up, step it back. Backs of the hands together, pushing through the length of both legs, activating your muscles, lengthening up in a crescent lunge, pushing your hips forward shallow or a little deeper with your back bend, up to you. Squeeze the front to lift, hands in, Elbows press in, bow down. Forward fold in your lunge legs, pushing through the length of your arms so you can lift your right leg and stepping back momentarily in your plank. Bend your knees, push back through puppy pose or downward facing dog if you want this pose. One spinal wave in the pose of your choice. Belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. With a breath, inhale, heels up. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, upward facing cat. Exhale, untuck your toes and press back. Extended child's pose. Squeeze the body, hugging and lifting, supporting the spine, waving yourself up, rolling the shoulders, retracting your scapula, squeezing your triceps. Arms naturally drift to the back. Push your hips forward, shallow or a little deeper with your suspended camel. Keep looking forward, keep pushing the hips forward. Squeeze the front to lift, arms drift up, hands pressing in, elbows bend, secure the head, lightly squeezing the head. Sit bones on your heels, then elbows all the way down. Curled, extended child's pose. Walking the hands forward, waving the thoracic up, waving the cranium up, choosing your pose here. Elbows drifting in and slide yourself through, down and up to cobra or straight up into your upward facing dog. Deep full breath. Pushing yourself up, maneuvering yourself back through plank, puppy pose, and downward facing dog. Spinal wave. Neutralize the spine, neutralize the big joints, resetting the breath. Left leg curls up, thigh to belly. Wave forward, curled leg, three-legged plank, and step through. Back heel still points up, backs of the hands together, wave yourself up. Into our high crescent lunge. Shallow or deep back bend, up to you. Squeeze the front to lift, hands in, elbows press in, bow down. Curling your right leg up and stepping it down in our Chandra Uttanasana. Backs of the hands together, pushing through the length of your legs. You can even flick your toes up if you want to. Lengthening up, upward facing hands. Push the hips forward, shallow or deeper back bend. Squeeze the front to lift. Hands in, elbows in, bow down. Forward fold. Belly on the thighs and breathe. Right leg curls up, step it back. Backs of the hands together, back into our crescent lunge. Lengthening the body, hugging and lifting all the muscle sets. Pushing your hips forward, shallow or deeper back bend. If you want to, squeeze the front to lift. Hands in, elbows in, bow down. Forward fold. A moment back in plank just to gain our alignments for puppy pose or downward facing dog. Spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Breathing, inhale, heels up, exhale, knees all the way down. Inhale, upward facing cat, and exhale, extended child's pose. Hugging and lifting, waving the spine up, back into our high kneeling pose for our suspended camel. Activate the back muscles and push your hips forward for a shallow or deep suspended camel. Up to you. Squeeze the front to lift. Arms circle up. Hands press in. Elbows bend. Arms secure the head. Sit bones to your heels. And curl. Elbows down. Allowing the back, especially the lower back, to counter pose from all of those back bends. Arms extend forward. Wave the thoracic. Wave the cranium up, looking forward. Choose your pose with your elbows drifting in. Wave yourself forward and down and up to Cobra or straight up to your upward facing dog. Up to you. Coming back to plank, to puppy pose, and downward facing dog. Deep full breath. Right leg curls up. Wave yourself forward, three-legged plank, and step it through. Backs of the hands together, thread yourself up. High crescent lunge. Shallow or deep back bend, up to squeezing yourself to lift. Hands in, elbows in, bow down. Forward fold. And curl your left leg up, coming back to Chandrautanasana. Backs of the hands together, pushing through your legs. Lift yourself nice and high. Shallow or deep back bend. Squeeze the front to lift. Hands in, elbows in, bow down. Bend the knees and bow down. So your belly comes down on your thighs. From here, step back just briefly to plank. Then bring your knees down. Untuck your toes with the hands sticking to where they are. Push yourself back into an extended child's pose. I do want you to lengthen out the arms here. Don't allow your elbows to drift down. That has a very unpleasant pinching sensation in the corners of your shoulder joints. To keep the elbows up. From here, spinal waves, belly up, chest up, head up. And a few more spinal waves in our extended child's pose. Next, inhalation. Lift yourself up into an upward facing cat. Waving up, following through with an upward facing cat. Exhale, squeezing up with the belly, letting your head go, looking through the gap between your legs, but you're also pushing through your arms into a downward facing cat. Inhale, upward facing cat. Exhale, downward facing cat. One more, inhaling, upward facing cat. And exhale, downward facing cat. Coming back to neutral. And I will turn myself to the front so you see how the body is going to move. Curling your right leg up. Point the knee back and up. Extend. I know my leg is behind me, but we're going to bring it out to the side. That's why I moved. From here, bring the flats of your toes down on the mat. On an exhalation, sweep your leg out to the side. Exhaling for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling 3. Out to the side. 2, 1. Add the pause for 1, 2, and back. 3, 2, 1. One more. Exhaling out. 3, 2, 1. Add your pause. And to the back. 3, 2, 1. One more just to bring that leg out to the side. And bring it down. Externally rotate your hip joints so your knees pointing up. top of your foot is also pointing up. From here, inhaling upward facing cat. With your right leg out to the side, exhale, downward facing cat. One more, upward facing cat. Exhale, downward facing cat. One more, inhaling upward facing cat. Exhale, downward facing cat. Bring your spine back to neutral and push back. So you are in a half extended child's pose and half gate pose with this right leg. Again, externally rotate your hip. Keep a bend in this knee, in your right knee, right foot flat on the mat. Breathing. From here, tuck your back toes under. Then lift yourself up, pushing up through your foundations. Allow your body to naturally drift a little bit to the right side, pushing through your arms. Hopefully you're feeling that nice, strong lengthening in your left side. Deep, full breath. It's an oblique downward facing dog or a 3-point dog because your points are your hands, your right foot out to the side, and your back foot behind us. Wave forward here. Allow your body to drift back to the middle of your mat. If you had a mat here, left heel points up. So you are in a 3-point plank this time. And I think I'll do it obliquely so you can see the shape of the body. From here, left knee down on the mat. Untuck your toes. Right arm waves up. Shoulder points up. Elbow points up. Wrist, fingers, and add a little bit more of a twist here if you want to, or just keep the arm, the top arm, the shoulders, and the bottom arm in a vertical line. Up to you. Reach out to the side and back down. Now let's do this just once with that left knee lifted up. Tuck your back toes under and lift that knee up. Right arm, shoulder up, elbow, wrist, fingers, and you are in a revolved fallen triangle. Exhale, reach out to the side and down. One more. Left knee up or down, waving up. Your choice. And exhale, coming back down. Hand down on the mat. If your left knee is down on the mat, join us in a lifted position. Curl your right leg under the body and bring that foot back into plank. Bend your knees and push back into our downward facing dog. And I will just orient myself properly back here. Spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. From here, inhale, heels up, exhale, knees all the way down. Untuck your toes and press back. Extended child's pose. Let's have a strong grounding awareness of our foundations here. Try not to move them overly much this time. For the left side, spinal waves, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. One more. And last one. I like doing this flow in threes. Waving up, following through, then upward facing cat, downward facing cat. That's one set. Inhaling, upward facing cat, pushing through your arms, downward facing cat. Upward facing cat and downward facing cat. Good. Bring your spine back to neutral. Left leg curls up, thigh to belly. Point the knee back and up. Gain height in that knee so you can lengthen your psoas and your quads first, and then extend that leg. Bring the flats of your toes down on the mat. On an exhalation, sweep it out to the side, exhaling. 3, 2, 1. Externally rotating that hip. Inhaling back. Good. Exhale out to the side, externally rotating that hip. Foot flat down on the mat. Take your time. And to the back. And one more set, exhaling out to the side. Take your time to externally rotate that hip. Inhale to the back. Last one, just to bring that leg back out. Externally rotating that hip. Bringing that foot in that third point for 3-point position. Your hands, your foot, and your back foot. So it's a triangle essentially. Inhaling, waving up, upward facing cat. Exhale, downward facing cat with that left leg out to the side. Inhaling up. Exhale. One more, inhaling up. And exhale, pulling the belly up. Bring your back to neutral and press back. Sit bone to your heels. Arms extending, head between your biceps. Externally rotating in that left hip so the knee and the top of the foot is pointing up. From here, lift yourself up slightly so you can tuck your back toes under. Strong foundations, pushing through the length of your arms, length especially of that back leg, body drifting slightly more to the left side and pushing through your arms, feeling that strong but nice lengthening in your right back. Breathing. Taking our time in our poses for a bit. Wave yourself forward. Back heel is allowed to lift up and your body is centered back into the center of your mat. From here, choose your pose. Right knee down or keep it lifted up. Left arm waves up. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, fingers. So you are in this pose. Exhale, reach out to the side and down. Inhale, waving back up. Exhale, out to the side, down. Inhale, waving back up. Out to the side and down. From here, if your knee is down, join me with your right knee lifted up, curling your left leg under the body and stepping it back. From here, bend your knees, push back through puppy pose and downward facing dog. Spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Heels up, knees all the way down. Untuck your toes, press back. Extended child's pose. Spinal waves. Here in our extended child's pose, that's 1. Up and down, that's 2. Belly up, chest up, head up, and that's 3. Last one, follow through with an upward facing cat, downward facing cat, upward facing cat, downward facing cat. Last one, upward facing cat, downward facing cat, and bring the spine back to neutral. Right leg curls under the body, thigh pressing into the belly. Point the knee back and up, gaining height in that knee, pushing strongly through your arms so you don't sink down, and extend that lifted leg. Bring that leg, foot down on the mat. If you want to, or you have a choice for this round, to keep it lifted up. But the hip will feel really heavy here, so pare it back down anytime you need to. Exhaling out to the side, to the back. Exhale out to the side, externally rotating that hip still, and to the back. One more. Out to the side, externally rotating that hip. And to the back, so 3 full sets. Last one, just to bring that foot back out to the side in our 3-point cat pose. And inhale, upward facing cat with a gate right leg. Exhale, downward facing cat. Upward facing cat. Downward facing cat. Don't rush. Upward facing cat. Downward facing cat. Spine back to neutral and push back. Sit bone to your heel. Extended child's pose with gate leg. Lift your hips up so you can have space to tuck your back toes under. Slowly pushing through your foundations and lifting up in our oblique downward facing dog or our 3-point dog. Breathing here. Distributing your body weight so your shoulders and wrists don't carry all of your weight. Wave forward. 3-point plank. Choose left knee. Keep it lifted up or bring it down. Up to you. Right arm waves up. In our revolved fallen triangle and exhale, reach out to the side and down. Inhaling, right arm lifting up, twisting yourself a little bit more if you want to. Exhale out to the side and down. Last one, inhale, waving up. But if your knee is down, this maneuverability is limited, so just be aware of that. Bring your hand back down. If your left knee is down, join me with a lifted knee. Curl your right leg under the body and step it back into your plank. Puppy pose, downward facing dog. Spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Breathing, heels up, knees all the way down. Untuck your toes and rest. Extended child's pose. Spinal waves here. Belly up, chest up, head up, exhale down. Belly up, chest up, head up, exhaling down. Last one. Belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Next wave. Follow through with an upward facing cat. Exhaling, downward facing cat. Upward facing cat, feeling the articulation of your joints. Downward facing cat in a wave-like motion. Upward facing cat. Downward facing cat. Spine back to neutral. Left leg, thigh pressing into the belly. Pointing the knee back and up and extend. Once again, you can opt to keep your leg lifted or bring the flats of your toes down on the mat. On an exhalation, leg out to the side, external rotation of that hip, and bring it to the back. Out to the side and to the back. Hug and lift here to support the movement. Out to the side and to the back. Last one, just to bring that leg out to the side and bring your foot down. Externally rotate that hip and inhale, upward facing cat with a gate pose left leg. Downward facing cat. Upward facing cat. Downward facing cat. Last one, upward facing cat. Spine back to neutral and press back. Sit bone to your heel. Allow your limbs, your arms, and your extended leg to lengthen here. Keep a micro bend in that knee though. Don't hyperextend it. Don't let it drop down. Lift the hips up slightly just to tuck your toes under. Now, strong foundation, strong limbs, pushing strongly through them, allowing the body to drift to the left side in our oblique 3-point downward facing dog. Breathing here. Don't let the left arm, the shorter arm, carry all of your weight. From here, wave yourself forward, 3-point plank, back heel lifts off, and choose your pose. Right knee, up or down. Left arm, waves up. Revolve triangle. Exhale out to the side and down. 2 more. Inhale, revolve triangle, fallen triangle. Exhale out to the side and down. Last one. Opening up and exhale out to the side. Bring your hand down, curl in your left leg, step it back, plank, soften the knees, drift back, puppy pose, up to stay here if you want to, or downward facing dog. Spinal waves in our downward facing dog. Deep full breath. Just allow yourself to slow down. Allow your hands and your feet, your foundations, or whatever's touching the floor to support you, to ground you, while allowing the rest of your body to stay airy and moving. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, knees all the way down. Untuck your toes and rest back into your extended child's pose. This time, let's make it more restorative. Bend your elbows, bring them right in front of your knees. Hands in fists or flat hands. I like bringing my hands in fists so that I don't compromise my wrists. But up to you. Stack them on top of each other and rest your head. Once your breath and your heart rate, let's come back into balance, into equilibrium here. Extend your arms forward once again. Tuck your toes under, pushing through the length of your arms, length of your legs, back to downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, right leg curls up, side to belly, keeping that knee nicely curled. Plantar flex ankles, but flick the toes. Then point the knee back and up. Gain height in that knee to gain length in your psoas and your quads. Keep your standing knee in a micro bend. And then extend that leg, squeezing your gluteal muscles, squeezing your quads here to lengthen that leg. Deep full breath. Wave yourself forward. 3-legged plank. Curl that leg forward, nice and high, and then extend it out to the left side. So right leg out to the left side. Let's pair this back first. Bring both knees and shins down on the mat. From here, left arm waves up in a twist. And again, because your legs are anchored down, the depth of the twist won't be too much. The most, I think, would be in a vertical position. You can come deeper later when the legs are up. Exhale, arms out to the side and down. Don't allow your lower shoulder to collapse, by the way, pushing through the length of that arm. Inhaling, waving up. Exhale, out to the side and down. Last one, inhale, waving up. Exhale, out to the side and down. Hands down, toes tuck back under and lift yourself up. In this cross-legged plank pose, curling your right leg back under the body, stepping it back, bending the knees, puppy pose, or downward facing dog. Spinal waves, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Left leg curls up, thigh to belly. Point the knee back and up. Again, gaining that length in your muscles while squeezing the muscles of your back. Then extend that leg. Deep, full breath. Wave yourself forward. Three-legged plank. Curl that leg under the body, lifting it nice and high, bringing it out to the right side. And again, paired back version of the pose, of the flow. Knees down, shins down, untuck your toes. Strong left arm pushing through that length so your left shoulder and neck isn't compromised. Right arm waves up. And you'll see the twist here from behind. Exhale out to the side and down, and inhale, waving up. Out to the side, reaching out and down. Even your fingers are active. Inhale, waving up. They're also reaching. Reach out to the side and down. Hands down. Toes tuck back under and lift yourself back up in this cross-legged plank pose. Curl your left leg back under the body, releasing it from its cross, stepping it back, bending the knees, pushing back into our downward facing dog. Spinal waves. From here, a few more if you want to, as I give you the instructions, because from here, you can opt to keep your legs down as we did, or leave them lifted up and strong. Up to you. From here, back into downward facing dog. Right leg curls under the body. Point the knee back and up. Extend. Wave forward, three-legged plank. Curling that leg forward and extending it out to the left side. Legs up or down, left arm waves up. Allow your feet to turn here if your legs are up. Exhale out to the side and down. Inhale, waving back up. Exhale. Inhaling. Opening up and exhale, reaching out and down. Back heel points up once again. Right leg curls under the body. Extend it for plank. Knees bend for puppy pose. And extends for downward facing dog. If you want your downward facing dog, spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Left leg curls under the body. Point the knee back and up. Extend. Wave forward, three-legged plank. Curl that leg through. Nice and high. And extend it out to the right side. Once again, legs up or down. Right arm waves up. Allowing your right foot to turn and exhale out to the side and down. Two more. Inhale, waving up. Out to the side and down. Last one. Inhale, waving up. Fallen triangle. Out to the side and down. Right heel points up once again. Left leg curls up back into the body and extend it back. Plank. Bend the knees, drifting back, puppy pose, lengthening the legs, downward facing dog, spinal waves. Deep, full breath. From here, curl your right leg up, wave your body weight forward, step it down. We're going to utilize or orient ourselves to the long horizon of your mat. So both feet down on the mat, turn your head and your toes to point to the long horizon of your mat. Nice wide legs, walk your hands forward, drift your body weight in the middle of the line of your hands and the line of your feet. alignment cue here, rule of thumb, is your feet and your hands are where they would be if you were back in a cat pose, yeah? So same principle of alignment. Your hands are just a little farther from the line of your shoulders and a little farther apart, wider than your shoulders. And your feet would be in line with your hips if they were there. From here, push your body weight to the back. The feeling is as if someone's pulling you from your hips. Legs are lengthening, your arms are lengthening, your back is lengthening. You are essentially in a wide-legged, short stance, downward facing dog. Now, awareness exercise. Hands and feet stick where they are. Ground them down. Allow them to support you. Bend your knees. Soften your body. You can even shake yourself out if you want to. Then drift your body weight to the right side. Circle up the right corner. Circle forward, so your chest would be in line with your hands and your legs are extended. Body weight is a little bit more forward. Bend your left knee, drifting down the left side, circling down the left side, pushing yourself back and your back into our short stance, wide-legged, downward facing dog. To the left side, bend your left knee, drift your body weight to the left. Circle up that left corner, circling forward, circle down the right, and to the back. And a few more, right side. Forward, down the left, and to the back. Up the left, don't rush. Forward, allow your joints to move down the right, and to the back. And one more, right side, one more per side. Forward, down the left, and to the back. Last one, bend the left knee, circling up the left, forward, down the right side, and we're back into our short stance, wide-legged, downward facing dog. From here, bend the knees, drift your body weight to the right side, walk your hands so that they come in line with your shoulders, right hand in front of the right foot. The distance of your hands is always a la plank. From here, adjust your stance as you need to. You might need to walk your left foot closer to the body. Right heel points up, right shin crosses or leans into your upper arm, and you can stay here if this is enough. If you don't want to lift up, you can always just stay here, but bring your body weight forward because I want you to feel the pose. From here, a few more breaths, or if you're feeling like it, lift your right foot off and you are in a half crow, half gate. And breathe. Then put your foot down. Now, with this next maneuver, please be careful. Your arms, especially your right side, will feel a whole lot of your body weight. From here, bring your shin down on the mat. Sit bones down. Allow your extended leg to adjust as you need to. And sit down in this open, I'll just adjust myself, in this open Janu-Sirsasana. So the legs are in 90 degrees, but you're allowing your sternum to fall in line where it will fall in line naturally. We're not adding that twist in the regular or the traditional Janu-Sirsasana alignment. Yeah? From here, finger pads down on the mat, spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, hinging on your hips. Don't round your back straight away. Walk your hands forward, keeping the back nice and straight. As soon as you hit your optimal depth with the back still straight, now you can relax down. Allow your forearms to come down on the mat, and you can walk your hands further away if you think you can come into a deeper forward fold. The extended leg, that knee is pointing up, so there's again that external rotation in your hip. Your heel is pressing down, your ankle is dorsiflexed, and your toes are flicking towards the face. Create strong arches. From here, keep the height or the depth your body is in. Walk your hands to the right side. That would be to the bent knee. Using the traction of your hands against the mat, if you have a long mat, or against the floor, feel that opening right here in your side, more really to the side of the body, but hopefully we're also targeting the QLs. From here, bring your right forearm down on the mat, maybe where it will naturally fall. Yeah? Left arm reaches out even more to the right side. If it can, lengthen up a little bit more and twist open. Navel, sternum, nose, and you've come into a lateral flexion. You've opened and furled the body in a lateral flexion. And again, with this position of the neck and shoulders, don't let yourself get crunched down, pushing through that strong standing arm to maintain the integrity of this lower curve of the neck. Deep, full breath here. To come out of the pose, squeeze your left side, pushing strongly through your standing arm, your right arm, back of the left arm on the inside of your left leg. Right arm waves up, lengthening up first, and then reach to the left side, to the side of your extended leg, and allow that lower hand to just slide on the inside of your leg. Once you've come into your maximum depth, or optimal depth rather, twist yourself a little bit more open if you want to. The nose, by the way, is pointing up. But if your cervical spine isn't happy with that, again, as per usual, point the nose to where it determines it's neutral. But maybe not down, unless your neck really demands that. Deep, full breath. By the way, don't allow your opposite knee and sit bone to lift up. Top arm sweeps down the left side and walk back to center. Maybe you've gained a little bit more depth, a little bit more of that pressing down of your belly and your chest down into the calf of your bent leg. Or maybe not, that's fine as well. Reversing the circular motion of the body, walking your hands to the left side this time. Again, using the traction of your hands against the mat or against the floor, walking them a little bit farther to open up your right side. Back of the left arm on the inside of your left leg. Right arm, same action as before, reaching a little bit more without hiking up your opposite leg and opening yourself up, twisting up. Navel first, sternum, and then the nose. Back into a lateral flexion along your extended leg. Squeeze the right side, lift yourself up. Right forearm down on the floor and mat where it will naturally fall. Wait until your elbow is down on the floor. And then lengthen up. Wave your left arm up and reaching to the opposite side. Deep, full breath. Release the pose, hands back down on the mat, and push yourself up. Back into our goddess stance. That's just wide-legged or horse stance. Extending your arms forward once again. Lengthening your legs and pushing yourself to the back. Short stance, wide-legged, downward facing dog. Starting with the left side this time, bend your knees, drift to the left side. Circle up the left, center, down the right, and to the back. Up the right, circle center, circle it down the left side, and to the back. Bend your left knee this time, starting with the left, circling up the left side, center, down the right, and to the back. Up the right side, center, down the left side, and to the back. Adjust your feet as you need to, then stick your foundations. Up the left side, center, down the right, back. One more up the right side, center, down the left, and to the back. From here, bend your knees, walk your hands closer to in line with your shoulders and drift to the left side. Left hand in front of your left foot. Adjust your extended leg. Move it a little bit closer as you need to. Left shin pressing up into the left arm. From here, keep your foot down on the mat if this is what you want, or lift your foot up if you want this pose. Deep, full breath. Bring your foot down, and again, the word of caution as before, your upper body, especially your left side, will feel a lot of your weight, so just be aware of that. Left shin down on the mat. Sit bones down, extend your right leg down on the mat in our Janu Sirshasana seated pose, bottom half of the body. From here, wave the spine up, belly up, chest up, head up, hinging on your hips. Don't round your shoulders forward, and walk your hands forward or slide them forward. Once you've come into your optimal depth, you can relax the upper body and just melt down on top of your bent leg, on the mat, on the floor, but keep your elbows lifted up. Don't let them sink down. You're still pressing into the circle of your hands. Walk your hands to the left side. Walking them as far as they'll reach without overly hiking up the right leg. Deep, full breath. Now, left forearm down on the mat. Right arm reaches a little bit more if it can, and twisting yourself open. Navel turning up first, sternum turning up, and then the head, and you're reaching. Not allowing that lower curve of your neck to collapse down. Adjust yourself as you need to. Extended leg, anchoring down on the mat as well. Squeeze your right side, pushing strongly through your left side to lift yourself up. Back of the right arm on the inside of your right leg. Left arm waves up. Lateral flexion to the right side, reaching that top lifted arm up and allowing your bottom hand, bottom arm to just slide along the inside of your leg and bringing you into your pose. Twisting of your cervical spine, of your neck, up to you. Neutral, as I'm doing right now, or a little bit up towards the ceiling, if your neck is okay with that. I want you to feel the subtle difference between neutral neck and twisting up towards the ceiling. There's an activation right here in your top side towards the back. Top arm circles down the right side and circle back forward. Again, maybe you've gained a bit more depth, or maybe you feel you want to breathe a little bit more. Strong claw hands or flat hands. I like claw hands here if I'm lifted up. Deep, full breath. Reversing the circling of the body, walking your hands to the right side. Reaching them as far as they'll go, opening up the left side, lengthening out. Hopefully we're also targeting the QL muscles. From here, back of the right arm on the inside of your right leg. Left hand reaches a little bit more if it can, and twist open. Navel first, sternum, and then the nose. Always in that order in our twists. Deep, full breath. Squeezing your left side to lift yourself up. Left forearm, where it will naturally fall on the mat. Wait until your elbow is down, and then wave your right arm up and bring it out to the left side, reaching, lengthening the side of the body, opening up the intercostals. Deep, full breath. Top arm sweeps down, and help yourself back up into our goddess stance. And our short stance, wide-legged, downward facing dog. Now soften the body, bend your knees, walk your hands back under your shoulders, and maneuver yourself back to face the top horizon of your mat. Stepping back into plank, puppy pose, downward facing dog, spinal wave, belly up, chest up, head up, and exhale down. Heels up, knees all the way down, untuck your toes and press back. Extended child's pose. Restorative version, elbows in front of your knees, stack your fists on top of each other, and rest your head. By all means, widen your knees if you need to, and whenever you need to. Breathing. Once you've caught your breath, wave yourself up. And however you can, bring your legs forward. I like crossing my ankles and flipping over my feet, but I understand some knuckles don't like that maneuver. So however you can, bring your legs forward. I've also brought my block because we're going to need a block for this flow. I didn't want to bring it in earlier and having you wondering when we're going to use a block. This is when. So just a moment in Dandasana, staff pose, 90-degree angles with the body. Heels are down, ankles are dorsiflex, toes are pointing up towards the face, sit bones are down on the mat. Nice, long, strengthened back, retracting the scapula, squeezing the triceps in, hands maybe just floating down or very light down on the mat. We're not really pushing down here. And staff pose. Dandasana. From here, keep your fingers behind you, lengthening up. This time, finger pads down on the mat, and you are pushing down through the length of your arms this time. Tilt on your hips, pushing your arms, your hands towards the back. You can adjust where your fingers are pointing for this maneuver. It's up to you. And come into your optimal forward fold with the back still nice and straight. So don't drop your shoulders forward as yet. Keep them strengthened and squeezing towards the back. Contracting the rhomboids to retract the scapula. Once you've come into your maximum, your optimal depth, you can then relax the body, bringing your hands forward, holding onto your feet even if you want to. If they reach there or anywhere your hands reach on the mat or on your legs, and come into your deep Paschimottanasana. Deep full breath. From here, wave yourself up, belly up, chest up, head up. Now get your blocks. On the big face of the block, bring it between your knees and squeeze them in. From here, bring your hands behind you and lengthen up. Just feeling the activation of your legs, squeezing in the activation of your body. From here, with your fingers, finger pads still down on the mat behind you, bring your body weight slightly to the back so you can bend your knees and bring your legs up into half boat. This time the ankles are plantar flexed, but the toes are still flicked towards the face. And adjust your arms and your hands as you need to, half boat. Deep full breath. Don't allow your sternum to sink down yet. Pushing it forward and up. From here, feet down, lengthen the legs, ankles still in plantar flexion. Adjust your hands as you need to, but you're in a reclining position. Wave the body, belly in and up, chest up, head up, and stay here if this is enough. But you are strongly pushing through the length of your arms into the circles of your hands. Stay or activate your body, squeeze yourself up, pushing through your foundations to lift your hips up. And looking down the line of your body. Now drop back of the neck here because we are going to move. We're going to flow in this pose. Sit bones down. Toes flick up. Chest puffs up and forward. And coming back into your half boat. Legs down, extending them down. Ankles dorsi flexed. Waving the body nice and upright, and belly down onto the tops of your thighs. Just a shallow Paschimottanasana. As we started this flow, not all the way down this time. Waving up, let's flow. Dorsiflex the ankles, float the legs up. Option, hands behind you, keeping them there, or extending them forward, up to you. Legs down, hands drift behind, puffing the chest up, sternum up, beaming the heart space, pushing slowly through your arms and lifting up into this pose, an upward facing staff pose. Exhale, sit bones down, legs curl up, hands behind you, or forward, up to you. Half boat. Legs down, staff pose, and Paschimottanasana. Relaxing the body here. When we get into the flow, inhale, waving up, Ardha Navasana, half boat. Release the pose. Purvottanasana. Release the pose. Ardha Navasana, half boat. Release. Paschimottanasana. Waving up, a moment in Dandasana. Ardha Navasana. Release. Purvottanasana. Release. Ardha Navasana. Release. A moment in Dandasana and Paschimottanasana. Inhale, waving up. A moment in Dandasana. Last one, Ardha Navasana. Release. Purvattanasana. Release. Ardha Navasana. Release. A moment in Dandasana and Paschimottanasana. I hope you're squeezing your block the whole time. Waving yourself up, releasing your block from between your knees. Checking if you have space behind you and adjusting yourself. From here, not yet down on the mat, bring the blades of the feet together, and I'll just turn back to the camera. Blades of the feet together, hands on your ankles, and wave the spine up, belly in and up, chest up, head up. From here, you will have a choice between an open belly twist. That means the arm isn't crossing the body. So let's do that first. Right hand on your right ankle, twisting from the base of the body, going up. So even though the sit bones are anchored down here, twist from the pubis, navel, sternum, nose. Release your left arm, lift it up. Just a small lateral flexion. You can lean your bottom arm into your bottom leg without overly hiking and rocking to that side. You're still pressing your opposite leg down. Inhale, lifting up. Left hand, left ankle. Right hand behind, twisting. Pubis, navel, sternum, nose. Open belly twist. Right arm waves up. Left forearm pressing down on your left thigh or just resting there. And just a shallow lateral flexion. Inhale, lifting up, rocking up. Now for the closed belly twist. Right hand, left ankle. Left hand behind and twist. So it's closed belly because that arm is crossing in front of us. Left arm waves up. Small lateral flexion. This time, the arm isn't touching the same side leg. You're pressing your left leg really down on the mat to anchor you down so we don't go all the way to the right side. We don't rock down to the floor. Inhale, squeezing your left side to lift. Left hand, right ankle. Right arm behind and twist. Right arm waves up. Lateral flexion. Inhale, lifting up. And choose open belly or closed belly. Twisting to the left side. Your choice. Lateral flexion. Squeezing up. Left hand, open belly or closed belly and twisting to the right side. Right arm lifts up. Lateral flexion. Just one more. Inhale, waving up. Your choice, or you want to place your hand, twisting to the left side. Left arm waves up. Lateral flexion. Inhaling, lifting up. Left hand, closed or open belly, up to you. Twisting to the right side. Right arm waves up. Lateral flexion. And inhale, lifting up. Close your knees. Hands on your shins and roll yourself down. Squeezing in here. Sacroiliac joint massage, drifting both knees to one side. Doesn't matter which one. pushing them forward, circling them up the opposite side, and back to center. And a few more. Deep, full breath. From here, bring your feet down on the mat. And we'll just come into bridge poses, and you have choices here. Extend your arms, fingers, middle fingers, brushing your Achilles. Feet are still one hip width distance apart. First round, pressing your arms strongly into the mat, tilt your hips, and because bridge is back bend, the motion of the hips is still pushing forward. This time, forward is up towards the ceiling. So pushing through your legs, through your arms, pushing the hips forward, up towards the ceiling. You can retract your scapula once again here. And let's have just a few breaths in this shallower version of the pose. By the way, once your hips lift up, don't turn your head. So I'll do my very best not to look at the camera. Exhale, allow your spine to roll down on the mat. Adjust your feet if you need to. If you feel like your torso has somehow gotten a little bit more length, which can happen, it can have that sensation, adjust your feet. Next, you can stick to that, or when we lift up, so tilt your hips, pushing through your legs, pushing your hips forward, up towards the ceiling, retracting the scapula once again if they've come out of the pose. Stay here, or interlace your hands under the body, heels of the hands as close together as they can get, and pushing strongly through your legs and through your arms into a higher version of bridge. And exhale, release down on the mat. Allow your spine once again to roll down. Don't fall down on the mat. Yeah? Before the next two rounds, keep your feet where they are, but soften the body by coming into soft twists. Not really forcing them down, just allowing them to move and drop side to side. Good. Coming back to center. Start with our first option. Hands pressing down, tilt the hips, and lift yourself up. Bridge pose. Choose option 1, hands down. Option 2, hands interlaced. Or option 3, hands on your hips. Your hips are going to be lifted a whole lot higher, a little bit more challenging for the breath and because you're really bringing the chin, or the notch of your collarbones are being lifted up to the bottom of your chin. Stay here for a few more breaths. For those who want to, you can also opt to lift one leg at a time. Walk your feet a little bit closer first towards each other, then curl one leg up. This case, I'm curling my left leg up so you can see, and lift it up. Exhale it back down. Set yourself back into your bridge, and the other side, curling your right leg up and lift it up. Bend and down. And release the pose. Deep, full breath. Good. One last round, and you can go straight into the pose that you want. But first, let's just reset the hips. Window wipes. Just soft window wipes. Not a lot of movement for the rest of the body. Just dropping the legs to the sides, alternating. Now, set yourself back into bridge and choose the pose you want. In this case, I will do those leg lifts. Tilt your hips, lifting up, going through your options for your poses first, and then deciding which one you want. Breathing, inhaling, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Brief pause. Inhale, exhale. Brief pause. One more round. And one more breath. Inhale, exhale. Lengthen that leg. Inhaling, curl, and exhale down. Brief pause. Inhaling, left leg curls up. Exhale, lengthen it up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, down. Brief pause. One more, just with the breath. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Same count, even if you're not lifting the legs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And let's release the pose. Roll the spine. Don't rush this. If you can feel vertebrae by vertebrae rolling down, connecting back with the mat. Don't rush. From here, do this one at a time. Curl your legs up towards the chest and come back into our Supta Balasana, or upward facing, lying down, child's pose. Long translation, sacroiliac joint massage. Doesn't matter which side you choose first, just alternate the circling of your knees to massage the SI joint. We did quite strong hip openings for today. So let's bring back the hips back into balance, back into equilibrium. From here, bring your feet to the edges of your mat. Arms already in your Shavasana. And try this one first. With your feet where they are, knees are bent, bring them together. So you've created a tent with your legs. And if this is better for your lower back, stay here for your Shavasana. It's more supportive for the lower back. But if you're feeling okay, or if you want to try and come into your full Shavasana, by all means, just slide your legs down. Again, one at a time. They don't have to move together this time. And set yourself in your Shavasana.